Good morning, Houston. Thank you for joining us for a special digital version of our KHOU 11 morning news show. Good to see you. I'm Stephanie Simmons here with Kimberly Davis.
We have live team coverage to get you ready for this winter blast. Our Ugochi Loka and Victor Jacobo are stationed in our northern part of town, keeping an eye on conditions there. But first, we will start with Cheetah Craft and Jennifer Reyna for weather and traffic. Cheetah, tell us more about these dangerously cold temperatures.
These are dangerously cold temperatures. You're exactly right. We are in the teens and 20s area wide. So I've also overlaid the radar on top of these temperatures so you can see if we see any precipitation, any moisture out there, it's going to transition to freezing rain, freezing drizzle, sleet, and we have had plenty of reports of that. You can see that the pink and the purple on our radar, that is what it is indicating. Even inside the city now, not out of the question to have reports of some freezing rain, some sleet. So it's that wintry mix that could cause some glazing out on the roadways, and I'm especially concerned with more elevated surfaces and then areas north and west. Now, putting this into a future track mode, so this is today, 12:30, again, right around your lunchtime hour, the potential of some minor impacts. That means about a tenth of an inch to about 5/100ths of an inch. So even though it's really light, remember your car is going to lose traction, and it's really important on those streets that you slow down, avoid it if you can. Now, on a lot of the surface streets inside the city, because we had so much sunshine yesterday, I think it's going to handle it pretty well, but really use caution today. Today you need to use caution for the potential of that freezing rain, sleet, or the potential of ice accumulating. Now, winter weather advisory from the National Weather Service continues through 6 o'clock this evening. That's shaded everywhere in purple. We're also going to be monitoring dangerously cold wind chills, not only today, but especially overnight. So right now, we're down to single digits from College Station, Brenham, Huntsville. You're down to about 9 degrees. That's your feels like. In Conroe to Tomball, notice you're feeling between about 14 to 16 degrees. Even in Sugar Land right now, you're at 16 degrees. Now, overnight tonight into tomorrow, we have a hard freeze where potentially actually our temperatures in the teens and then feels like down to the single digits. Now, let's bring in Victor Jacobo. He's live outside in Willis. What are you seeing? Do you see any accumulation of either sleet, freezing rain, some ice? I know it's cold.
Yeah, Cheetah, cold indeed. Certainly from the morning as progressed, those temperatures have lowered. Here we've seen a dusting of snow onto the roads and onto the highway. I'm south of Willis here off of I-45. You can see the traffic going really at a snail's pace here, but everyone doing what they're supposed to do, taking the right decision and going slow, taking their time, having plenty of space. And then you're going to see over here, we have a semi-truck that has jackknifed. The marks in the grass show it came off of I-45 and onto this frontage road here, and you can see how the truck is really not able to move as the tires have really been, some are facing in a different direction than the others. The tow trucks here, I think more resources are coming to help address this, but this just kind of illustrates how the road conditions really have made it a challenge for folks driving to their destination this morning, trying to address both that dusting of snow, but also the slick spots that kind of become icy and glazed over. And even going at a normal speed, it's pretty treacherous and pretty dangerous. So folks doing what they can to slow down, putting on their emergency lights and making sure that they have plenty of space so that they are able to slow down. I've seen a few folks fishtail. Their control has been, a little difficult depending on some spots that are a little slick. But as you see here, this truck being taken care of right now. And so this is really what we've seen kind of south of Huntsville by Conroe, a lot of that dusting into the highway. So it's a familiar scene for many folks really across our region. And someone else who's taking a look at another part of our viewing area is my colleague Ugochi Loka. Ugochi, what are you seeing where you are?
Hey Victor, we are seeing there's a flyover off of Highway 6 and 290 that has ice over it. We know that authorities have been warning people to really stay clear of that overpass and flyover altogether, and if they are going to get on it, to go very slow. What we're also seeing on Highway 290 around this area is we're seeing a lot of sleet on the actual highway itself. So a lot of the cars are taking it very slow, 20 miles per hour, some even less than that. They're really trying to just take it easy and roll on through. Even with some cars that were going slow, we've seen a couple actually fishtail, slide off the road as the sleet and the ice picks up here. You see cars going slow right now behind me. You can get that visual live here right now. People are not taking that risk and speeding on this highway itself. Again, they want people to stay clear of that flyover specifically because of the ice on that overpass there. There are a lot of concerns about it. And of course, drivers are urging them to go really slow. A couple of people once again slid off the road. So even if you're going slow, there's a high chance that could happen just because there is some ice and some sleet on this specific stretch of the highway. Highway 290 and Highway 6 exactly in Waller County is where we are now. We'll be following these conditions. If anything else changes, we'll keep you posted. Reporting live in Waller County, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
In KHOU, we really want you to take care. We have dangerous road conditions. This has all been evolving since right around 8 o'clock. Those conditions have definitely worsened. So earlier this morning, you heard me say that in town wasn't a big deal, but we do want you to stay off the roads now if possible. Drivers are moving extremely slowly, as you heard Ugochi and both our Victor Jacobo report. Now in Brookshire, we have a major problem, indications of how bad the roads have gotten. An overturned 18-wheeler on one side at FM 359 and then a crash on the opposite side with multiple vehicles involved. We do have icy conditions here. This is in the Brookshire area. Any points west of that are going to be even worse. Drivers are encouraged to use 90 in the area or 11th Street, but you can just tell with that picture it's going to be a long haul for some of those drivers. Also 99 at 290, those overpasses are extremely tall. Take really big precautions. Hockley, you're seeing some very slow drivers. Hempstead, even worse out west. Now in the Conroe-Willis area where you saw our other reporter, it's going to be slow going, 75, 45. This is Panorama Village. This is why we're asking drivers, please stay off the highway. Our live picture here shows that drivers are moving at extremely slow paces. They have their flashers on and everybody is sort of easing off of that accelerator going, whoa, I can feel the icy conditions underneath me and they don't want to go out of control. This is State Highway 105 in Conroe. That's how close these icy conditions are to the Houston area. At 1488, we have a crash working. Emergency crews, we don't want to give them extra work, so that's why we're asking if you don't have to be on the roads to avoid travel right now. Otherwise, I'm going to show you what it looks like at 99 and Mound, where emergency crews are on standby off of shoulders, but 99, especially in those elevated areas, very dangerous right now.
Jennifer, thank you. Time now is 9:08. Right now, Texas is under an energy conservation appeal from ERCOT. As you take a look at this dashboard, right now there is enough energy to meet demand. The weather is also affecting flights nationwide. Right now, FlightAware is reporting more than 13,000 delays and 2,500 cancellations, with 83 of those cancellations coming out of Bush.
This morning, 2 Martin Luther King Jr. Day parades that were scheduled to happen today are being postponed due to weather concerns. That includes the downtown parade put on by the Black Heritage Society and the MLK Grand Parade in Midtown. A MLK Boulevard trail ride in Southeast Houston is also being postponed. None of the events have been announced with a new date.
Well, many of you may be staying home today. TxDOT is urging you to take precautions if you are heading out.
I'm Devon Rahming. AAA is urging drivers to make sure they're prepared on the roadways for any setbacks during a potential winter freeze. Experts say that means making sure your tires are properly inflated, all of the lights on your car are functioning so other drivers know your intentions, while also being mindful of the hundreds of TxDOT crews who will be out working around the clock treating roads and the first responders out assisting those in need. The Texas Department of Transportation recommends drivers remain vigilant and know the weather and road conditions before heading out.
All right, at 9:09, Cheetah Craft. So looks like things are taking a turn.
Yeah, you know what? We are starting to see more freezing rain, a little more sleet. I was looking at some of our latest reports, and a lot of the visuals y'all are sending on social media from Facebook and Twitter. We've had reports from Conroe and Willis towards Huntsville. So we've had a lot of reports of some freezing rain and sleet, and just like you saw from our live reports, our reporters, it looks about the same. So again, going over our radar now, temperatures are below the freezing point. So what that means, any moisture that would typically bring just light rain or a little drizzle or a little mist, that transitions into a freezing rain or mist. Now, once it comes in contact with the surface, it really depends on how cold that air is right at the surface. So that's why we have seen some, I would say, light accumulation in some of those live shots areas north of town. Now, yesterday, because we had an abundance of sunshine for most of the day, it warmed most of our surface streets up. So now as we're looking at these temperatures, 26 in Katy, 26 in Sugar Land, 27 in Conroe, 30 degrees in Liberty, even though you see the temperatures below freezing, a lot of these areas, it's still going to have a little warmth from yesterday where it won't freeze upon contact. Now, we get into the afternoon, that may not be the case. So even if our accumulations, let's say now through noon on some of our elevated surfaces are up to about 5/100ths of an inch, we could get up to about 1/10 of an inch once we head into the afternoon. So kind of this hot pink shading, that's the potential of ice impacts where it looks to be minor. However, remember, when your car is driving over a surface, even with some patchy ice, it loses traction with the tires and it can easily cause those spinouts. It's really dangerous out on the roadways. So that's why we're saying, hey, limit travel if you can, especially if you typically use an elevated surface like a bridge, like an overpass, like those flyovers that you've seen those live shots from. Try to limit that today. Now, on your sidewalks, that could be the same. You know, if you're outside, you got to get the dog out. There's going to be patches of probably some ice as well. Temperatures are cold enough to support that. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, on general surface streets inside the city or south of town, I don't see that being a problem because of all the warmth from yesterday, the sunshine from yesterday. We are, although, under this active winter weather advisory, with the exception of our coastal counties, until 6 o'clock this evening. So this light freezing drizzle to the sleet to even a few snowflakes out there. So that's that wintry mix. We kind of put that under the umbrella there, that term. That's all the winter precipitations that are possible with temperatures below the freezing point. Now, feels like, let's get into these dangerous wind chills. Oh man, it is just bitterly cold out there. Single-digit readings. 8 degrees feels like from Brenham to College Station to Huntsville. Once you head to both airports, feels like 17 at IAH, 20 degrees at Hobby Airport. So dangerous wind chills. Now, overnight tonight, getting back to these dangerous temperatures, we have a hard freeze warning in effect for everyone. This is going to be in effect for 2 nights, tonight into early tomorrow morning, and then this will repeat again Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning. And that's where temperatures are below 24 for over 2 hours. And then, Jen, you know, some of our wind chills overnight tonight could be as low as 5 degrees. That is really dangerous air. So we eliminate the moisture overnight, but it's the wind chills then that will prompt these temperatures potentially down to single-digit feels like. So really bitterly cold, dangerous air for about the next 3 days.
Yeah, and we're just not used to that. And we aren't used to these treacherous driving conditions either. Just updated our road conditions. It is now unsafe to drive on the roads. We were telling you that things were okay, and they were earlier, but things have definitely shifted. You'll want to use caution on bridges and overpasses if you need to be on the roads, and be sure to knock on your hood for stray animals in case they are trying to get warmth in your vehicle. If you do plan on driving in the state of Texas, drivetexas.org is the place to go. Avoid using cruise control, especially if you're headed out of town, as you will lose control faster being in a cruise control mode. Look at this overturned 18-wheeler. This is not going away anytime soon. These are eastbound lanes blocked at 359 in Brookshire. The westbound lanes are also shut down with a separate multi-car crash. You can see the icy conditions in that area. 90 is going to be the route that many take, or 11th, but overall we're asking if you could stay home to now sit it out because conditions have worsened. This is 99, where drivers are going so slow between I-10 and 290, which indicates to me that they are seeing icy conditions, especially in Hempstead, Prairie View, same setup. And for my north siders, it has been really bad from New Waverly all the way down to Conroe. As a matter of fact, here's your live view of the North Freeway. It's to Highway 105. You can see the flashers, The drivers are not moving anywhere near posted speeds. They are really slow going, inching along, seeing that driver in front of them safely maneuver and not lose control themselves. This is a crash on the Hardy Toll Road right past the North Loop at Barry, where emergency crews have had to respond. A left lane is the only thing that is getting through at this point in time. And I'll leave you with this look of the Southwest Freeway. This is the inbound ramp to spur 527. It's been cut off since this weekend when we had a bad crash, and that ramp will be shut down until further notice. You can take Richmond as an alternate. Over to you.
Jennifer, thank you. Right now, we're not seeing a major impact from the winter weather, but that's not the case in other parts of Texas. Vanessa Croy from our sister station in San Antonio and Natalie Haddad up in Dallas show us the conditions they're facing right now.
We're here on the northwest side of San Antonio. Not a lot of movement out here this morning, but we are seeing light rain, which means the roads could be dangerous. Take a look behind me. This is the 1604 I-10 interchange. It is not closed down at this moment. We have seen some cars going around, but there are other areas across town that TxDOT has closed those overpasses across San Antonio right now. If you have to get out this morning, just be careful. There are some reported ice patches across the freeways across town, and it appears the roads are just wet, which is the most deceiving part of this because you don't know if one of those wet spots is an ice patch. TxDOT recommends just stay safe, leave a lot of distance between cars, of course, and drive slow. For now, reporting in San Antonio, Vanessa Croy.
I'm Natalie Haddad in Plano, Texas, just north of Dallas. And for as pretty as it looks out here, it is also cold and potentially dangerous. Take a look at the sidewalk when it's been untreated. Now, it is still just flurries out here. The snow and the sleet is very light, but it is starting to accumulate. And even with my non-slip boot, it is slick and it is easy to slide. Take a look at the parking lot that's untreated. When you're driving your car around the neighborhoods or maybe outside a library like this, also beginning to accumulate and a little slick even with non-slip boots. Now in other parts of town it is treated, but so long as it stays below freezing, everything that comes down is going to stick. So be sure to keep in mind when you're outside or if you're driving your car, the potential for slick spots are everywhere regardless of where it's been treated. In Plano, I'm Natalie Haddad. I'll send it back to you.
While these freezing temps may have you reaching for the thermostat, we do want to remind you that ERCOT has in fact issued a conservation request.
So here are some ways to safely warm up your home. First, only use a safe source of alternative heat, like a fireplace or a portable space heater. Never use a cooking range or an oven. Always make sure that someone is around a burning flame because you just never know what could happen. And never use gasoline to start your fireplace, and also don't burn charcoal inside. And here's how to do all of that effectively. First, you should always seal your windows with plastic or hang blankets to act as insulating drapes. A big tip that will also save you some cash is to turn down the thermostat. And finally, turn your water heater to the warm setting.
And if you need a warm place to stay and wait out the cold, there are several areas across the Houston area where you can go to stay warm. You can see all 8 locations on your screen right now. These warming centers are set to open at 8 o'clock tonight. And a reminder, you can bring pets to any of these Houston facilities, but they may be required to stay inside of a kennel provided by Bark. You can also call 311 for a free ride to any of these locations. All right, Sheeta, you've been telling us it is cold, but this wind chill is making it feel even colder.
It is, and it's not only here, it is statewide. You saw all those images. I mean, really some dangerous cold air in place across the state of Texas right now. I mean, Amarillo, 10 below zero with these wind chills. I mean, 10 below, 5 below zero in Dallas, down to 6 degrees in Austin. Okay, 17 in Houston. So that's our feels like. Not out of the question that some of our actual low temperatures tonight could be in the upper teens. Now, current temperatures across the board, single digits for Amarillo, 11 degrees there in Dallas, 19 in Austin, 28 in Houston. I'm expecting more between about 19 to maybe 24 degrees overnight tonight. That's that hard freeze. Now, zooming on into our counties here locally, 27 in Sugar Land, 27 in Tomball, 21 Huntsville, 19 in College Station. Feels like temperatures, though, are in the single digits from College Station to Brenham to Huntsville, 2 teens across the board. So that's why, Jen, if we do see any precip that moves across the board, it's going to transition to either sleet, freezing rain, even a few flurries out there. We've had reports of it all. I'll send it over to you.
Oh, we definitely have seen those conditions worsen, and we're talking north, west. Those conditions have worsened for drivers, so we're asking that you stay off the roads if possible. Since the last time I talked to you just a few minutes ago, I've already seen new crashes pop up. What is going to stay in place is this issue in Brookshire. Both sides of I-10 at FM 359 are closed. This is the undercarriage of an 18-wheeler, and on the opposite side of the highway, we have a multi-car crash. So I-10 is shut down on the west side right now. 90 is going to be the alternate route, or 11th Street, but both will be really packed as drivers have little options in the area. Other than that, we have, of course, treacherous conditions along 99. That's closer to Houston, right, than we'd like to see for those icy conditions. And also up in the New Waverly area, Conroe, anywhere north of that. This is how slow going it is at 2854. We hardly see these type of pictures. If you're new to Houston, we're not used to seeing icy conditions along the pavement and on shoulders here. This is a rare sighting. Drivers moving very slowly, as they should. Actually, if you could stay home, please do so. Hardy Toll Road, there is still that problem working at Berry. Only a left lane gets through. And then this is the West Beltway at Little York. A crash, yes, there in the center lane, but look at how slow going those vehicles are moving as they have to hug that pavement.
A rare sighting indeed. This is the first time I've actually seen ice on roadways here, so important for people to pay attention to the newscasts, especially our meteorologists and our traffic experts. And that's all the time we have this morning. We will be back on the air today at noon.
We're going to leave you with some video from across Texas today. And remember, you can share your weather videos with us through the Near Me section in our KHOU 11 mobile app. Have a good day.